Welcome to Spanish 101, Online Spanish 101, Section W10. My name is Professor Miles, and I'll be teaching this course over the next 7 weeks. There are a few things I wanted to point out about the course. I have it also, the same information is posted on Blackboard. But I just wanted to let you know this is an extremely compressed course. And it will we're going to cover all of Spanish 101 in 7 weeks. Now, normally this course is offered over 15 weeks. This is a specially compressed course. There's another shortened version over 10 weeks, but this is extremely compressed. So I wanted you to be aware of it because the workload can get a little bit intense. So you really must be keeping up with this course with due dates. I have those all posted on Blackboard, clearly posted on your course schedule on Blackboard. So you must keep up with due dates because this course is going to move along quickly. If you'd like, you can take 101, another version of it that's offered over a 15-week period, and that would be a lot less intense, and you are free to change courses up through Tuesday the 10th without any penalty, as I understand it. So just know that there are other versions of Spanish 101 that are much less intense, much less demanding than this one, in that they're offered over 15 weeks as opposed to 7. I also wanted to let you know that it is very important, again, because things are so compressed, that you purchase your Plazas textbook. It can be an e-version, and you also purchase the software that comes with Plazas, the MindTap software, because most of your graded work will be on MindTap. And you need immediate access to this. Why? Because on Friday, the 13th, your first graded MindTap assignments are due. And so please purchase the access to MindTap. There is a free trial period, but they will cut you off, I think, after a week. So please be prepared to fully purchase MindTap if you want to stay in this course, because again, most of our graded work is found there. Let's see. We are going to be covering basically a chapter every 1.5 weeks. In Module 1, we're going to cover 2 chapters, Chapter P and Chapter 1. This is the only time we're going to cover 2 chapters. Chapter P deals with conversational Spanish. How do you greet people? How do you say hello? And some really basic concepts in Spanish. How to conjugate the verb to be, what are the subject pronouns in Spanish, how do you say I, you, he, she, they, very basic stuff in Chapter P. And then in Chapter 1, there's a lot of vocabulary. It has to do with taking courses, life at the university, and so there's a lot of stuff in Chapter 1. So this is going to be a very fast-paced week, because your homework is due by the end of the week. Friday, it's due on Friday the 13th of January, and it's covering both Chapter P and Chapter 1. I just wanted to make you aware of that. The other thing I wanted to make you aware of, now the Plazas textbook, we're going to be covering chapters P, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, Module 1 is Chapter P and 1. And for each module, when you go to Plazas, for each chapter of Plazas, you don't need to know everything in the chapter. I want to make it simple for you. What you do want to focus on are these sections. Every chapter has a vocabulario or vocabulary section. Vocabulario 1 and a vocabulario 2. Uno y dos. Make sure you familiarize yourself with the vocabulary. There are estructura sections, and there's usually 3 to 4 estructura sections per chapter. They're only about a page long, but there's a lot of meat in there. Make sure you focus on each of the Estructura sections for each chapter. Now, this time we have P and 1, so there's a lot of Estructura sections there. They're very short. Make sure you're familiar with them. And then there's always one section called Así se dice for every chapter, and that's an idiomatic use of the Spanish language. Make sure you're familiar with that. And then finally, there's a culture section. Make sure you're familiar with the culture section. That's what your homework is on and your test is on. And those are the sections. It's all you really need to focus on. In addition to your MindTap homework every week, there you will the other thing that will be due on MindTap are your chapter tests. So at the end of every chapter, there'll be a chapter test. That's also on MindTap. Aside from the work that you'll be doing on MindTap, there's a couple of things you'll be submitting for every module on Blackboard. One is a journal entry. It's all laid out there. They're very short, a short little writing assignment. Your first writing assignment will be writing a conversation between you and a hypothetical student, just asking questions about your schedule, okay, and answering it. Very short, but just make sure you follow the instructions there. Secondarily, on MindTap, there will be quizzes, 2 quizzes, a grammar quiz for every module and a culture quiz. So again, the majority of your work will be found on MindTap, the homework activities, the chapter tests, but there will be a grammar and culture quiz as well as a journal entry that's due on Blackboard. Again, I have a course schedule there with all your due dates. If you continue with this course, you must keep up with those due dates. So make sure you're periodically looking at that course schedule and you're keeping up with your dates. And please purchase your textbook and your MindTap Access and get started. It's not a difficult course. It's doable, but it's going to be demanding given the short period of time that we have in this particular course. Best of luck.